Welcome back, family and friends. I'm Old School Mechanic James here with another video working on the 4.3 V6 engine. My last video I sent out, you probably had seen it. If not, take a look and you'll find out exactly what happened. But the engine that I built the second round had an issue at the very end. So I didn't have a video on it actually starting. It did start. But watch my previous video and you'll find out where I'm at on the 4.3 V6. Today's video is going to be on installing cam bearings. We're going to remove the cam bearings and then we're going to go ahead and install the new ones. So what I want to go through right now is the cam bearings came in. I'm going to show you the cam bearing tool. You guys probably already know. I got a really good tool at Amazon for 30 some dollars, 35 maybe. It does everything you want it to do. Removes the cam bearings, puts the cam bearings back in, but you got to line them up. You got to do it right. So I went ahead and put them on this cardboard here, and I got them numbered. You'll see where I got them numbered. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, and 4. The 4 has got an oil hole. It's the bottom of your block. My block is upside down. So you basically are going to put them in the way that they come out. So number 4, the oil hole is at the bottom as you put them in with the block upside down. 3 is the same. 2 is the same. You got to be able to see through the journal, the hole. I'll show you how we do that. And number 1 is the only bearing. It's the first one. The number 1, it's got 2 holes. It's got one for the top and one for the side. It's got 2 holes, so remember number 1 and number 4 are different. Now I ordered these off Amazon, and pretty good. Got a pretty good price on them. They weren't that expensive. Anyways, I do all my shopping at Amazon most of the time. So I put in Mercruiser 4.3 V6 cam bearings, and this is the box I got. Of course, on the box, like any box, they'll give you the information. Okay, that tells you exactly what bearings go where. You can interchange them, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's what we got. Now I like to mark my bearings. I'll either use this if I got enough ink, or I'll use a magic marker. So I put my marks on these bearings right where the hole is. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a mark at the bottom and a mark at the top right over the oil hole. That way when I line it up on my cam bearing tool, I got that hole lined up. I know exactly where the line is. I also marked the block right above it, so it's directly from the hole on top of the journal all the way down to where this goes in. So as you pound this in, you get that hole lined up with the hole on top of the journal. Usually I'll put a light in here and you can see the light. You know you're exactly dead on. So that's a good thing to do, put a mark on these bearings before you even install them. Okay, so we're going to go over here to the block. Okay, so I got the bearings that are in the block. They're old, they're scratched, they're no good. So we got to get rid of them. This tool right here, I got off of Amazon. Again, don't ask me why. I prefer Amazon over O'Reilly's, AutoZone, Advanced Auto. I don't have to spend the gas. 1 day, 2 day delivery, 30 bucks, 32 tops. So it's got the head that goes in, and you remove each bearing with the lip. It's got a little lip on the end. Okay. Then it's got the centerpiece that you put to balance the tool, the cam bearing tool. You want to balance it with this on the outside. And then this part here is where you hit it with the hammer. Okay, so basically, the first bearing in the block is right here. This is the one that's got 2 holes in it. It's got a hole at the top where the journal oil flows through, goes through the hole, goes onto your cam, lubricates your cam. So that's the first one we're going to remove. Now before I use this tool, I like to throw a little oil on there. It just helps it a lot. It's got a rubber gasket to it. Makes it easier to go in and remove that bearing. So put a little oil on your tool. Of course, we always got to have our attitude adjustment. So make sure you have a good hammer, but you don't have to beat it. You just have to tap it. Okay, so the first bearing's right here. Okay, we're not worried about our slider. We're just gonna start tapping it. Try to keep it level. Okay, we're right to where the bearing is now. So just keep it level. It'll eventually go in. Tap at a time, keep it level. Just like that. Okay. So we got it out, and hopefully it'll come right off. If not, you're gonna have to get a little screwdriver or needle nose pliers. It should come off. Yeah, you just work it little by little with your fingernail. It'll come off your rod. There we go. All right. 1 down, 3 to go. So there's my bearing that I just knocked out. Try to get that light out of you guys' eyes. Okay, so this is the one that comes with the 2 holes. It's the first one. It's got 1 hole there. It's got another hole right here. Okay, so make sure that this is the number 1 bearing, the new one, that you're going to put back in, and make sure you line these holes up correctly. One goes straight up and down. The other one is on the side. Okay, when I get to that, I'll show you. But if you look at this bearing on the inside, I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little scuffed. You might not be able to see it real good. But if we're going to do this build the right way, again, I messed up. I don't know what it was. I put bad oil in. I had 5 quarts of oil that had some debris or dirt or something, but it messed up my push rods and one of my journals on my crankshaft. Fortunately, O'Reilly's took care of me. In my last video, I tell you about the problem I had in my college when I went to the university. I had a professor who was a psychologist, and he kept saying, you need to get a degree, you need to get a degree. Watch this last video, it'll tell you. Well, I told him it's not what you know, it's who you know, and how well you get along with them. See, try to get along with everybody in the world. Somebody's got something that you might need, or you got something that they might need, but this is what we need in this world today. Is to help one another, love one another, no matter what. Goodness can overcome evil. You just got to shine the light on them. So anyways, when my psychology teacher heard what I said, he gave me a D. There you go. It's just like getting fired. However, life goes on. That D didn't stop me from graduating. That D didn't ruin my GPA. I still kept it up. I did other things to bring the GPA back up. You know, so it's just a rule of thumb. When I went to O'Reilly's with my crankshaft and told him what happened, the manager talked to me. He said, you installed it, it's not under warranty. However, sometimes if you treat people like you want to be treated, they give you grace. And that's what they gave me, was a grace. It was a blessing. And so that's the message I can tell you young guys out there. You know, it's not always the toughest guy. It's not always the guy who's the aggressive, assertive, and demanding. Sometimes if you humble yourself and you ask politely, all they can do is say, no, it was your fault, and you buy another one. Or they can say, we'll give you one more chance. So I got one more chance to build this block the right way. Don't tell everybody at O'Reilly's or their manager will get fired. Anyway, back to the block. So we got 1 out, we got 3 to go. Okay, so we get my attitude adjustment. Now this one is the second one, so this time I can line it up, and I can bring my little slider down right there where it needs to go in the block. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Let me bring the camera down, get the light out of your eyes. Okay, so now this is a good $30 rod. I'll tell you, this little slider goes right there. Just keep it level. Put your hand there, hold it down tight, and just tap away. Nice little strokes, easy strokes. You want to break the engine hoist with your foot, you can do that, so it don't keep moving on you. Take a look at your work. Ta-da! 2 down, 2 to go. Alright. Again, just try to slide it off with your finger. Sometimes it'll come off easy, sometimes hard. But work at it. You know how the turtle won the race? One step at a time, one crawl at a time. Kind of reminded me of my last race I was in. I was the turtle with a bunch of jackrabbits. And them jackrabbit race cars were pretty darn fast. Well, they tore their engines up. They tore their race cars up. I kept cruising around that racetrack, and I finished in the top 12 out of 24 cars. I started dead last. Here we go again. All right, let me get the light out of you guys' eyes. So this is the second bearing, and again, it's only got one hole. So you got to remember that one hole where it goes into the block. Nothing on the bottom, anything around. It does have some abrasion, score, scratches from the cam. Anyways, number 2, done. Okay, let's move right along. I'm gonna go to the next one. Line it up. Hold the centerpiece into the block. Tap away. It's really that easy. Done. Really that easy. It's a little bit cold in Houston, Texas. We got down to about 65. For the rest of the country that's suffering winter, that's not cold. All right, there's number 3. Done. One more to go. Now, the last one, guys, the number 4 is right here. And the issue with number 4 is you got a freeze plug on the back. I don't know if y'all can see the freeze plug, but there's a freeze plug here. Okay? And I have the engine stand on, but I'm still going to be able to tap it out. At the same time, I'm going to push that freeze plug out. Okay? So now you see what we're up against. We got to get the bearing out. We got to get the freeze plug out. It can come out with this engine on the engine stand. When we put everyone back in, that's when we got to worry about that freeze plug. Not till we get to that number 4. Okay? And that's the one where the oil hole goes down to the bottom. Okay? Bear with me. Shut my light off. So we're at the last one. We'll line it up. We're going to take it easy because we don't want to damage that freeze plug. That freeze plug is a good freeze plug. We don't want to damage it. So we're going to do the same thing. Okay? The thing is, it's going to get to the freeze plug and start pushing the freeze plug out. And that's okay. There it goes. Okay. one freeze plug. No damage, good shape. We can use it again. Not an issue. Let's finish the job. We're almost through. Done. Okay. It was that easy, guys. Really is that easy. Now just take our fingernail, slide that bearing off the rod, and we're good to go. It took about 10 minutes, maybe 15. There we go. Alright, she's out. Number 4. Okay, this one had the hole that was at the bottom. So that hole, the number 4, when we go back in, goes to the bottom. Put it on the rod, put it in. That'll be the first one that I do. Okay? Alright. So I'm going to take the number 4 bearing, brand new, and I'm going to put it on my rod here, the same way everything came off, the same way you go on. Now you got one shot at this, so you got to do it right. I see where the oil is, I see where my groove is on the block. I see where I want to be lined up. I'm going to mark it with this. So I got a good line right above where the hole is going to be on the bottom. And this is going to be on the top. Okay? I don't know if you guys want to see it, but I'll show you. It's pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. I don't know if you can see that. There's a line right there, a little white line. Okay, that's where this is going to line up on the bearing. Okay, so that's where I'm going to do with the bearing. I got the same mark on top. I got a mark right here on that bearing. It's pretty even with the hole. Not perfect, but it's pretty darn close. Alright, so take the bearing and try to put it on your tool. Okay, as long as you get it started, you're in good shape. If you move it all the way down close, that's where you want to be. Put that bearing on and slide it all the way down until it bottoms out. Okay, then find your line. Okay, I see my line. I see the line that I just made. And I don't even have my glasses on, so I'm doing pretty darn good for not wearing my glasses. Let's try some glasses here. Alright. We line up that line where that bearing's going to go. Alright. We're pretty darn close right there. Okay, so now we're going to start putting in the new one. Brace your foot on the block. Start tapping away. Okay, we're pretty close. Okay, just when you think the bearing's just about in, just keep tapping away till it just disappears. Okay? Once it disappears, then you gotta make a decision to come back off of it. Okay? And then see where your hole is. I'll show you guys what I did. There's the new bearing. Okay? Right there. Now I got to get that hole to go into that groove. And what I like to do is use an Allen wrench. Okay, we get an Allen wrench. that's small enough to fit through the hole. Okay? Come over here and try to go and see if it's going to fit down through there. And bottom out. Of course, I grabbed a bigger Allen wrench. That's the way it works sometimes. Got the biggest one I could get. Alright, now we got a smaller one. This little guy. Alright, come back over here. Find out where the hole is, and go down there and say, how much further do I need to go? And I still need to go quite a ways. Okay, so now I'm going to come back in with my tool. You know I got to go a little bit further. Okay, a little bit further. We're close, but we're not in all the way. Alright, let's check it again. Take your time, there's no hurry. Okay? Let's look at it again. You don't have to be in a hurry to put these bearings in. Because if you put them in too far, then you gotta knock them out. Your bearings are just about shot. Okay, so I'm gonna look down in here. I can kind of see the groove a little bit. I don't think I'm there yet. Pretty close. Yep. I'd say it's pretty darn close. What do you guys think? Look at that. That Allen wrench is down in there. It's in the hole. We found the hole. Alright. But are we perfect? Are we as perfect as we can get? That is the question. Let's look at it a little bit more. Man, we are so close. The bearing's in. I feel like we've got a good shot. But I think I could go in a little more. I just want to double check. Yeah. You know, inspect your bearing. Inspect the location. See how much clearance you got all the way around. Pretty darn close. I'm going to tap it just a little bit more, guys. I don't think I'm where I need to be exactly, but I know I'm pretty darn close. Okay. Alright, just a little bit more. I think we're done. Alright, let's check it one more time, guys. Because I like what I see. Alright. Yeah. I'm there. Alright. I'm there. Alright, that's it. Number 4 is done. Now we're going to come back and do 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go to 3. Now number 3 is going to be a little different because number 3 is going to be in the journal hole, lined up with the journal hole. Okay? Back our tool out. Alright. Might have to tap our tool out. Doesn't want to go through all the way. That little rubber gasket, the rubber gasket kind of blocks it a little bit. So we got to give it an attitude adjustment with a smaller hammer. Sometimes the little rubber gasket blocks it a little. That's okay. There we go. Little attitude adjustment, that's all. Okay. So now we're ready for number 3. So I want to make sure I do it right. Got to line everything up. Remember, we marked the bearing. We mark the bearing, and we're going to mark the block with a number 3. Okay, so try it as best as possible to get it as perfect as possible. Just a little white line. This one's got a white line on it here. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's not much, but it's all you need is a little bit. Right directly on that hole. Okay. So we're going to put it on. Got to get the bearing down in there, slide it on. Not much room to move around, but you can do it. Just work at it. Okay, once you get that bearing on your tool, you're there. Okay, now we line up the line because we got to go directly. That hole has to go directly on the hole above. The journal hole has got to go directly down to hit the bearing hole. So the oil seeps through, drops through the oil onto the cam. That's the purpose. Okay, here we go. Let's tap it in. I think we're in good shape. Alright, hold everything steady. Almost there. Alright. The bearing's going all the way in. A little bit more. Just take your time, guys. I give it 3 hits at a time. Okay? Now, I can see the hole right now. I see right where it is. I see my tool. Man, it's pretty darn perfect, guys. I think I'm just a centimeter off. Let's tap it a little bit more. See what we got. Oh, that looks good. That looks real good. Okay, so I'm going to back out the tool. Let's back out this tool and see what we got. Oh, baby. We're on the money. Don't you like it when a plan comes together? Alright, guys, I want you to see this. Alright. Check this out, guys. This is what you want right here. Okay? You look through that hole. You see that light? That means you're there. I don't know if this is showing up because I can't see my video from the other side. But I think we're there. When you can see your light right through that hole, you got her lined up. Alright. So guys, I'm not sure I want to continue showing you everything. It's pretty self-explanatory. You know, it's easy. Just keep doing what you're doing. And you'll be able to put all those bearings in. Remember, the last bearing is the most important. It goes only one way. So make sure you line it up. I don't need to know what I did with my remote. But the last one, the first number 1 bearing has 2 holes. One on top and one at 9 o'clock. Okay? 12 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Stay with me. I'm Old School Mechanic James. Hot diggity dog. It's November 2023. Coming to a town near you. Happy Thanksgiving to those of you. If I don't get another video out, y'all have a blessed day. Take care.